All right, good evening. My name is Jose Roberto Sevas Perez. I go by Robert usually. And for this presentation, we're going to be talking about creatine phosphokinase. So, when people first hear creatine nowadays, I think most people think of gym goers, people who take creatine monohydrate to supplement their hypertrophy. But in this case, we're talking about something else. We're talking about an enzyme, actually. So, um, for this slide, we're going to talk about the role of creatine phosphokinase within our system. And so, what it is an enzyme that is expressed by skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and the brain. Um, to preface this, you need to know what an enzyme is, and basically, what an enzyme is a small unit that catalyzes reactions within our bodies. And so, in this case, on the bottom right here, we can see what it is being used for. And so, the main one that we're going to talk about is how it catalyzes the conversion of creatine with ATP into phosphocreatine and ADP. The great thing about this reaction, though, is that it is also reversible. So it goes both ways depending on what we need. Um, what that means is that in tissue, such as the ones labeled above that need more ATP, phosphokinase can act as kind of an energy reservoir for that tissue whenever it needs extra ATP. And so that's what it is. This also explains why people supplement with more creatine within their diets. Um, Basically, what it's doing is just giving more energy into their bodies and giving them more stuff to break down. So, down here on this list, you can see on the bottom left, there's a couple of different types of, we'll call it CPK for the rest of the presentation, but that's just a short abbreviation for creatine phosphokinase. Depending on where you find it at, you're going to see different types of CPK. Um, yeah, and so one of the clinical uses that we see with CPK is whenever we witness high levels of CPK. And so if it is high, that usually leads to or is derived from some type of damage within muscle tissue, heart, or the brain. Um, so whenever that tissue is damaged, that CPK can leak into the bloodstream. And so taking or using blood tests, you could find the levels of CPK, and if it's elevated within the body, then that can determine quite a few things. So it could determine any type of muscle tissue damage. So maybe someone had an injury during exercise or in some type of accident. Um, these tests can help find that. You can also use it to diagnose heart attacks or strokes within patients. And it can also be used to detect certain types of muscle diseases that may be found within the body. And so, yeah, for the last slide, I want to talk about just a brief summary of some of these types of muscle disorders that you might find when looking at increased CPK. And so, this first one, um, as you can see, it only occurs in males, meaning that it's going to be a sex linked recessive disorder or yeah, disorder. It's called the Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And usually you can see within the first 2 to 5 years, these people are late walkers. Um, this one, there is treatment, but sadly, those patients who do have this type of disease usually die within their teens or in their 20s. Um, as an example, one where it's sex linked. One that's not sex linked, meaning it can happen for both males and females, is myositis, and this can happen anytime within their lifespan. We notice anytime within the lifespan, and general symptoms are weakness, neck weakness, and um, rashes as well. Um, this one, the treatment works exceptionally well, so you don't have to worry about any early death. Um, yeah, usually it's treated with steroids, and so that is what I have for you today.